Welcome back to LETV. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button so you don't miss out on any upcoming content. Let's do this. Right guys, so we're here again tonight it's a Friday night, so we're having a nice couple of beers, a glass of wine and that, and I'm here with sound production student and Danny and the driver's frontman, Daniel Stainer.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Aye, very good.
Aye, nice one. Well, it's a Friday night, so this is the first time. Got some drinks on the podcast. Don't worry, we'll not be reeking, so we'll make some sense. Eh?
Aye, well, let's see.
Well, cheers for coming on, man.
No, thanks a lot for giving us the platform and everything and coming on and speak. It's
chat about the band and stuff. And
it's not often you get to talk about stuff that you enjoy doing.
Aye.
We just, you know what I mean? It's really good. So.
Aye, and the podcast seems to be good for that. There seems to be quite a few people watching it, So
Aye.
I'm hoping it keeps growing and get more people watching and the wide variety of guests as well, like not just having my rapper mates on and
Yeah.
like,
Getting a good wide range of music.
Yeah.
And it's interesting as well. Like,
aye. Cool, man. Well, we'll just crack on with the first part, and that's basically based on like where you're from, where you grew up, what you were like as a kid into your teens, what you were interested in, stuff like that. So that fills the first part. So yeah, starting off, sort of, where are you from and where did you grow up?
well, I was born in Hampshire, like right down south of England. I've got like English parents. I was like born there on a farm, on like a dairy farm, and I moved around a bit to that. But then by the age I was about 2, I lived in Scotland.
Oh right.
So basically, like, all of my memories of like living has always been in Scotland.
Aye.
Like I may have like a few like images of like living in England, but like never anything. Like, and then basically where I say I was from is like is Jedburgh, like in the Scottish borders.
Aye.
Aye.
That's where you really grew up in that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Aye, it's a funny wee tune. Like it's, I don't know.
Yeah. Aye, it's not too far away. I've never been to Jedburgh, but it's not far away from here really.
Well, it's like an hour. It's the same distance for here to Newcastle, basically.
Right. Aye.
But it's like, I don't care. It's just it's got like again, because it's so secluded. It has like good things, and it has bad things, because it's like the nearest club is like, was it Warehouse in Galashiels, and it plays like shite music. So you have to travel that. So that made me want to.
So is Jedburgh quite near Galashiels then?
Aye, it's about 20 minutes.
Alright, aye, cool.
But like you had to get a bus or a taxi 20 minutes just to go to a club.
Aye.
So that kind of gave people in there like more like a house party kind of like feeling and that, and it kind of made a better pattern. Do you know what I mean? A bit of better like stuff like that. Like,
Cool. So you grew up in Hampshire, down.
Well, I wouldn't even say I even grew up in Hampshire.
I was but born
literally
down.
spat out in Hampshire. Grew up in Scotland, like that's how it was. I guess.
Aye. And you were saying literally by 2, then you moved up to sort of Jedburgh.
Aye, but even then, before then, I was like in what is it? Salisbury Plain for like, when the army do their tanks, and I lived there for a very small amount of time, and then I was like in a small village in the borders, and then I moved to Jedburgh.
Now what age were you sort of in Jedburgh by?
Oh, by 2 years old.
Oh right, yeah. Aye, so that was all within the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Couple of places, and then
Aye.
And then from 2 years old, that was you, Jedburgh.
Aye, born. No, well.
Cool. So you went to school in Jedburgh and everything like that.
Aye, nursery, yeah, everything, yeah.
Aye. What else to ask you about? So what's Jedburgh like? Is it a big place or?
No, it's like about 5,000 people, I think.
Aye.
It's like everybody kens everybody, and when you walk down the street, you always think, who's that person?
Similar size to like Newton Grange or something then?
Small. I'd even say smaller. It's like I don't.
Roslyn or something.
Is that Mike went out? No, it's not.
Aye.
No,
Roslyn or something.
Aye, it's like it's like 5,000 people there, so it's like
Aye.
everybody kens everybody.
Aye.
And it's like like it's all right, man. Like I've got a lot of good friends for.
You had plenty of pals down there.
Aye, but like most of the folk like I went to school with, I'm not really pals anymore. But like the folk from like my school and stuff, like I made pals like my mates and that. But apart from that, it's not really
Still keep in touch with many folk from Jedburgh?
I do. Like, I've got like good pals, and a few of them have moved up for Jedburgh
All right,
to Edinburgh or
Aye.
to somewhere else, because it's like you got to get out the borders. That's the main
It's a
thing.
promotion, eh?
Aye.
Promoted up to Edinburgh.
Yeah, it's like you need to get out the borders. You need to go to a nightclub or go to 2 different pubs. You know what I mean? It's like you need to like Ken. It's like
I grew up in Edinburgh, man.
Aye, so
I'm going backwards, eh?
yeah, it's like you've experienced all of that, but like to somebody that's from Jedburgh, it's like 2 nightclubs on the same street. Like that's like dazed headlights. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, you're going clubbing. Like that's what it's like for
It's
people.
like no going home for days.
Yeah. 3 days. Your mum's texting you after the first 2 hours or something. Like that's just like in Jedburgh, man. But well, it's a pretty different thing in Edinburgh, I guess.
Aye. What sort of stuff were you into as a kid then? Obviously, you're studying music production, eh?
Aye.
So, what were you always interested
No,
in music?
it took me a while to get to that, I guess, because I was like, well, I mind when I was a kid and that my dad was like Queen and David Bowie was a big guy. And I always remember like in the car and that riding. Okay, when you're driving around, you'd have the David Bowie CD on, and then I remember always listening to the music and like visualizing it and imagining it, and then you can the Genie. It's a David Bowie song, and I always just remember like imagining
I like
that.
David Bowie, but I'm not a total expert.
No, well,
but yeah.
No, but I always just remember listening to that and like visualizing the music and listening and the Cars and Queen and then Pink Floyd and stuff. But then for a while, I went off all of that when I went to school. Do you know what I mean? Because it's it's like you lose because you try and like. I reckon it's like you can't do
get into different stuff. Eh?
Aye. And when I got into different stuff, and I it was more like, well, I don't even know, but it was when I left school and when I went to college. It's when I proper started actually getting like into music and getting into like hip hop and rap, and I met some good friends and like, because that's the thing about like colleges. It's like it's nothing like school. When I left school when I was like 16 so Ken, I was like I met Ken. It's like you it's a completely different environment, and then you meet all these like older people.
You're suddenly in like classes with adults.
Yeah, just cunts and that, and folk they give a fuck about.
I remember being at school and then going to college and just like, this is weird, eh? And you're getting treated like an adult too.
Yeah,
it's like,
and you're still trying to be a wee prick.
Do what you're told. Stop eating sweets and that. And then all of a sudden you go to college, and all of a sudden it's like, Mr. Blah Blah, is he here today? Is that me? All right.
Aye. It's that's what I loved about college, and I've always loved college since I was like 16 and that. So, and yeah, that's when I met this friend. Like his name was Mark, man, and it was like he like. Oh, you know, you can like showing us all this rap music and you got to get Biggie Smalls and you get in the Wu-Tang Clan, and then that's how like I kind of started proper listening to like.
What age was that then?
About 16.
Aye.
Kind of like before that I would listen to like music and shit, but
I was quite impressed when I first met you because we've known each other for what, like 2 or 3 years now, eh?
I'd be about 3
or 4 years.
3 coming on 4.
Aye, crazy, eh?
No.
And how old are you now?
I'm 22, coming on 23.
22, there you go. So I met you, you were literally like 18, eh? Yeah, you were about 18.
I was a wee young.
That's about right, eh?
Yeah,
I was amazed that, because I've just turned 40, back then, meeting an 18-year-old that knew all about Wu-Tang and all that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The thing is, because it was Wu-Tang, like Wu-Tang are the fucking best of the best, man. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I kind of had to, I just listened to him and, no.
I speak to a lot of younger folk and that about hip-hop and that, and they don't know much about the older stuff, eh? They're into all the modern rap and stuff. Eh?
See, I'm more or less just only into the older stuff. I've got this problem with like most music I'm into is old music.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like obsessed with like.
Some people say somebody has an old soul, eh? You've got a bit of an old
Maybe
soul.
I always dream. I wish I was in the 90s, or I wish I was in the 60s. But
I was like that, man, when I was younger, eh? And even like hitting into 2000 odds and that, I still wished it was still the 90s. I was like, I wish we were just still in the 90s, man. Everything was so much better, eh?
That was the same. Like even like now, I'm still like, oh fuck, I bet the 90s was fucking a lot better as this. But
aye, I reckon it was. I mean, nobody had a mobile in that. I think it was better without mobiles. You didn't. there's so many like social things nowadays where if you don't answer your phone, people are going Raj because like
I know
like,
you.
back in the day you didn't have one, and if you were more free, and now you're like falling out with mates because you didn't answer your phone and
yeah. That's the thing, is because it's like, well, back then it would have been like, all right, how's it going? I've not seen you in ages, and then that, I've not seen you in it. But like now it's like, oh, I've not seen you. Oh, well, you could have messaged me.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's what it is. But it is now.
And because of social media and Facebook and that, you already know what everybody's doing. You know, like it's weird. You bump into your mate and you don't go, "All right, man, how you doing? What you been up to recently?" You go, "All right, man, how you doing? I saw you just completed your university course on Facebook." And well done, and congratulations on the birth of your kid. It's like you know everything when you see them.
I deleted all that shit, man. I couldn't be fucking arsehole with it anymore.
I was saying just on one of the other podcasts, I've stopped reading down the news feed. I just now post and check my notifications. And I've stopped scrolling because I found some nights you could be sitting there scrolling and then suddenly look at a time and like half an hour's passed and you're just scrolling.
You're like, what have you fucking done?
What am I doing with my time?
That's the thing about like doing your own things, like, well, doing your podcasts and like, if you do like nights or events or shit like that, it's like the fucking Facebook shit and the Instagram trying to get folk interested in it, when before it would just be like handing out a flyer or going to a party and
word of mouth and
it's
pals
like,
telling
and
pals.
Now it's like you've got to like sit and grind, and it's like when you go into bed, it's like you're still there, and it's like fuck. That's what I can't be
been saying to you. Once we're done here and that, we'll chill out for a bit, and then I'll start posting on Facebook. And
but it's like that's the thing. It's like it never goes to bed, but it's like
I know.
It does do good jobs for like your publicity and stuff.
I think there's definitely a benefit to having social media and all that. It is good for. I mean, when you're doing music and that too, you can push your music to so many more people, and you would have to be out in the pavement, going around clubs and that, and you can just literally target all these people. Mind you, things like Facebook and that are with their algorithms and that are knackering it now though. So you put a post and nobody sees it.
Yeah,
you know.
The thing is, I've always got this feeling. It was like it would be great if you could like push an artist or push somebody, and it would be completely natural. Like to gain a natural buzz about someone or something, like instead of having it just plastered on everything. Like I think that would be well. Just
now I'm trying to do the podcast, and I've not paid for any Facebook posts. So I'm not doing any of that yet. I probably will, but I'm just trying to gain like an organic. Support first.
Exactly.
Just gain who's up for supporting and spread it as much as I can, and then there will probably be a limit to as far as I can go with that, and then I'm going to start looking into online, like paying for sponsored posts and things like that. But I'm going to wait until I'm at least 10 podcasts deep. This is only like the third or fourth.
I think it's fourth.
This is the fourth, so I mean, I'm not even halfway there to the 10. Once I get to maybe 10 podcasts, I'll start maybe thinking, right, we need to start pushing it more now. So just now it's just all organic, but it's doing all right. We're doing
it seems to be doing great, man.
All due to you folk coming on the show. Cool, man. Well, we'll carry on because we've only got 25 minutes roughly on each part. Due to mainly the fact that cameras don't like recording over half an hour, and I'm not a millionaire like Joe Rogan, so just have to deal with that. But actually, I like that. I was saying to you, it gives us a chance to play music in between, which also pushes underground artists, and it's only ever underground artists I play. Like unsigned and underground. So but so sticking to the first part. You were telling me a wee bit about music you were into when you were young. What music? Well, you were telling me you were literally 16 and you were learning about Wu-Tang and all that.
Aye.
That's quite young, Because, I mean, when I was 16, I only really knew about Tupac and that. I didn't even know about Wu-Tang and all that.
I think, like, everybody always starts off on Tupac.
Aye.
Or, like, Biggie and Tupac. And I remember, like, hoovering the house listening to, like, what is it? My Mama. What was it?
Yeah.
I know that shit.
Dear Mama.
Dear Mama, yeah. I'm like, Tupac. And then I was like, it was all just, like, that's the good thing about music. Because I've always, like, connected with people through music. So, and there was this boy at my college, like, Mark, I think is, Mark. I've not seen him since I fucking left college. But, and he was like, oh, you listen to Biggie and that? Would you like more Biggie or Tupac? Like, I like Biggie. I was like, oh, I like fucking like good. And all that. And then it was just like, you okay, Wu-Tang? And then it was like, no. So you think I'm fucking Wu-Tang? And then it was like, from that, it was like, well. And I just remember like when I listened to it for the first time, the 36 Chambers and that, and I listened to it, I was like, fuck it, this is raw, this is rugged, man, this is rough, like, and I was like, this is fucking
the first time you hear 36 Chambers, you're like, man, I was the same, when you're listening to Tupac and people like that have got highly produced tunes, and then suddenly
and then old dirty bastard comes in and just wipes the floor
and
with
he's
it.
shouting on the mic, and it's just overpowering. You know, it just didn't even care, eh?
Aye, no.
Aye. So I suppose we could go into sort of, were you into any sports or that when you were a kid? You play any sports or?
Aye, well in the Borders it's like a massive like rugby. It's all about rugby.
Aye.
So I played mini rugby and like high school rugby and that, but like towards the end it got a wee bit like wanky and like for the pricks and that. But
aye.
No, but I used to play mini rugby was always fun and that because I mine had this thing and it was like everyone else used to try and like sight. You're only about like what 10 years old or some shit like playing rugby and that, and everyone used to try. And my thing was I would just like stick my head down and then just run at him. And then that was my thing. And then
at 10 years old, the other ones were probably like, get out his way.
And then I got a reputation. At least the one that sticks his head down and all that. And then through the years, it's like you kept on playing the same people because there's always the same kids. Like even when you're like 16, 17, you're still playing the same.
It's a small community.
Yeah. Right. So they eventually worked out that all I do is just stick my head down and run at people. So I soon got getting the shit kicked to it.
So for the first like year or so,
I was a fucking top of the game in that, like fucking pass me the ball. But like towards the end, I was. You got hit in the head quite a lot. Like
right.
I remember a few times I got smacked in the head and like
elbows and everything.
I physically seen green.
Aye.
Like, and you got to think like, what the fuck has that done? Like, Ken, if you're like 13-year-old, you've been like concussed.
It explains a lot of things. Sorry, Daniel. I suppose I like to just go into all these sort of things when you were young. So like. What sort of fashions would you say you were into? Were you just a normal kid, just wearing what kids wear, or were you like?
Well, I don't know really. I guess. Well, like my mum and dad were very like old school. They didn't really like fashion, basically. I remember I had them like when everybody.
My mum and dad were quite similar, like.
Aye. But your mum and dad are probably 20 years older than mine. But
no, right enough, eh? I'm forgetting I'm 20 years older than you, eh?
No, but like Ken, on mine when everybody used to wear the fucking Y-necks, kind of like the Y-necks were like one sleeve was a different colour.
Aye.
I remember wearing that and that, but I didn't really have any like I just wear clothes I liked.
You're going really young now, though. I mean, I had cords, eh? Like, when I was really, really wee, I had tank tops and cords and that.
Yeah. And then for a wee bit, like, well, nah. Like, before I fucking got into music and that, there was, like, a small period in my life when because I wanted to be, like, a farmer. Like, I would not like I wanted to be, like, I was the job in that.
That's what you were lined up, really.
Yeah. And it was like I was done it at college and shit, and then
you did some of that at college. Aye.
No, I'd done a year at like garden landscaping, and that's where I met like all the Soon folk, and I'd done a year like agriculture, and then I worked for a bit in.
That's where you met Mark.
Aye, Mark was in. I think he's actually for Leaf. I think.
Oh right.
I think. He supports Hibs anyway.
There you go. Aye.
No, and then
must be sound then.
No, and then when I done agriculture,
just lost a few subscribers.
But I mind for like a small period of time, I was like, gonna, because if you're a farmer, boy, it's like you can't be a farmer and dress like this, or you can't be a farmer and like actual music, like, do you know what I mean? Like for a bit, I was wearing.
Often farmers just work a lot anyway.
Well, but it's like that's what you do, man. It's like you're like a slave to your animals,
aye.
or a slave to the fields, but you're also
farmers are up crack of dawn working, and sometimes they're out like in the dark doing stuff at night.
But to be honest, they make it out like they're really hard done by, man. But like, there's in seeing the winter and that, they do fuck all. Or sometimes they literally just drive round and look at the sheep, and then that's them.
Aye.
Ken, it's not like, can they always make out? Oh, we make less than minimum. Do you fuck, man? Like they make like fucking hundreds of money off of grants and shit. Ken, if they put a hedgerow in, they get 30 grand a year.
Right.
Or they build a pond and they get. It's like
a lot. I mean, lots of things are struggling these days, eh? Like all sorts of areas in the country are struggling, eh? It's mad, but everybody makes it sort of worse than it is. They push it worse. So teachers should be getting better pay, and police officers should be getting better pay, and
nurses
should be getting better pay, and everybody. But I'm still seeing teachers pulling up in nice cars, and I'm still seeing the same, with.
Aye.
So I'm not saying these people aren't validated in what they're saying, but sometimes people in this country make a fuss about something, and they don't realise that, like, over in Africa, people are sitting in mud huts and that.
Yeah, they're too busy trying to fucking shoot for a Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
Instead of fucking.
And I understand that they do deserve more money in certain areas than that, but it's always pushed to the limit that it's such a big problem, and it's like they're still living in a nice house, got a nice car, going on nice holidays. So yeah, but well, we've pretty much covered where you're from, where you grew up, where you were born, and then where you grew up, and then covered sort of fashions and music. Is there anything else from your childhood sort of strikes you?
I went off on I was going to say, like, music. Well, not necessarily about music, but before I got into music, I was going to be that farmer Bob, with like the jeans and the leather bits and the like the tartan stripy shirt with the buttons up, and like that's what I was going to be, that person, and then I decided to go, nah, fuck. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't for me. And then I changed, like, but like, that was basically it.
Massive change for you.
Well, I guess it wasn't. It was like I was always that person.
So, almost like you were at college doing your landscaping, and you were learning more about other life that was going. Like, you were learning about rap music from your pal.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Like when I was doing, I felt more like I'd be happy doing landscaping right now. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But like, do you know what I mean? I learned more at landscape than I did about life anyway, than I did working on a farm.
I mean, I technically sort of like graduated to a full-blown hip-hop head when I was at college.
Is that aye?
I was at school and I liked a bit of rap, but it wasn't till I was really hitting college at 16, and that's when I was starting to like buy my first pieces of clothing that were like hip-hop style clothing, and buying albums, and then by the time I'd left college, I was a full-blown hip-hop head. That was it. I've just been the same since, eh? It's crazy. So that's what happens, I suppose, eh? You're so young, you learn a lot in your college days, eh?
Well, basically, because if you take like college and then if you look at the people that if I look at the people that like I went to school with, and the people that left, not necessarily at 16, but went to college, and then you look at the people that went to university, like university is like, it's basically school. But college is like fucking a different thing. Like, I'm doing a very high level college course, the same as a degree, but it's a completely different environment compared to like degree. You're all writing and fucking doing all that stuff, but like college is all practical and like actually doing shit.
Yeah,
like,
you'll have some written stuff, but not much, eh?
Aye, but like you got to do that. Like
yeah. That was like I'd obviously done sign work, sign making at college, and most of it was all teaching you to be a sign maker, eh?
Aye, but you got to do the type
you
up
do have
shit
to do
and that.
typing up.
But like when I first went to college, I was a little arsehole and like a little cunt, like basically, like, and my lecturer was like, "Fuck."
I just about blew bogies out my nose there.
No, but like it took me like a fucking while to settle in and be able to concentrate on that. But I had a lot. That's a good as well. Like I had a lot of support through college that I didn't actually have at school. Ken.
Yeah. Well, lecturers at college seem a wee bit, I don't know, a bit more helpful, eh? School teachers,
Well,
I feel like are kind of, they've been putting up with the same stuff year after year after year.
It's like, well, I'm like dyslexic, and it was like, there's like some school teachers that get it and some school teachers that don't, and then some school teachers get too much and they'll, oh, well done. I'll be in like P6 here, and I'll be like, well done, Daniel, you read a page.
Aye.
And you're like, come on, I hope I can read more than that. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like,
I suppose they're trying to be encouraging.
but like, there's like, and then there's audience that just didn't fucking understand any hint about, like, they just, nah, it's fucking, but hey.
Aye. Well, I don't know if there's much else to go into, really. Went over where you're from, where you grew up. You're quite a forward, confident sort of person, eh? You always been like that.
Well, I never think of myself as a forward, confident person. Like,
I'm similar. I think as you get older, you'll probably notice it more. Eh? I notice it more now that I'm older. I never noticed when I was younger, eh? But now I realise, like, I'll just chat to folk and I didn't notice.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like if I'm out in if I'm like in the world and that, like doing shit, like, well, on the train here, I spoke to a guy on the train.
Aye.
He was like, he was drunk, like he was wasted and that, but like I wasn't even scared to speak to him. But like,
yeah.
I'm
be nice to folk.
I wouldn't say like I just like speaking to folk, but I wouldn't say I was like I don't feel like I'm a confident person really. Yeah, but
aye. That's maybe just inside you then, eh? Because you come across quite confident, eh?
You
speak well in that, like you're
I've always
quiet and
that's true. Yeah,
you'll probably notice more because I was the same. I didn't really notice until I got older, eh? And then people telling me too, though. People always say, like,
you speak fucking loud.
And not even that, but just like I'd be saying something like, "Oh, I've got to go and do a job interview," and someone, as I was getting older, and someone would say like, "You'll be fine."
Yeah, everybody, you get that a lot.
Because like, how could you struggle in a job interview? You're not going to sit there quiet.
Well, yeah, it's a gift of the gab, isn't it?
Yeah, aye, totally, Manny. That's why me and you are all over the place on this part one, like. The alcohol's helping as well, but. Right, well, cool, man. We could just leave part one at that. There's nothing else you really want to chuck in. You told us pretty much about how you were planning to do farming, pretty much, landscaping and farming and stuff like that. And then totally headed off a total different direction, eh?
Well,
it's funny also that you're only, how old did you just say you were? 22?
Yeah.
22, eh?
Coming on 23.
And I'm like 40. And I was just setting up stuff here just now, setting up the cameras and messing about with my music stuff, showing them that. And I was asking you, is that the right way you're meant to do that? Is that how you do that? Because it's like, I've just learnt it myself, and I know that you're at college learning this stuff. So it's like, it's amazing, eh? So at your age already, your knowledge is like really high, eh? Right, cool. Well, we'll just call it quits there on part one. And we're going to play a track from Daniel's band, which is Danny and the Drivers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, got the name right. And actually, my brother's in this band with
Johnny.
Daniel.
He's a lead guitarist.
Aye, Johnny. Well, anyone that knows UV Beat stuff, Johnny played a lot of the guitar and the tunes, and folk that will probably know that anyway. So Johnny's now in a band with Daniel and a bunch of other boys and Danny and the Drivers, and you're going to get a new track from the band right now that Danny's sorted out, and all the details will be on the screen. Perfect. Catch you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Chopsticks on the bedroom floor, a ratter's on the blade again. He got a one-track mind, looking for a young thing with a need for money, or just a flash in his dreams. Well, tick, tick, tick goes the alarm clock. A few minutes later, something goes pop. Chopsticks on the bedroom floor. Rodder's on the plane again. Chopsticks on the bedroom floor. Rodder's on the plane again. Oh, he's a dirty old man. He's a dirty old man. I tell ya, I tell ya, I tell ya, tell ya, tell ya, you're in here. Oh, she wouldn't do that to you. Oh, she wouldn't do that to you. She really got you twisted, man. Now the money's in the other hand, and she served you that boy right on a dish now. And look at you, you reek of fish. You reek of fish. You reek of fish.
Right, guys, so we're back. Hope you enjoyed the track. That was one of the sort of first mixed tracks from Daniel's band.
That would be YMRP. That was the first track we've like come out with. It's
Cool.
unreleased, basically.
You've just gave me
Mixed and mastered.
You've just gave me a job to make sure I put the right tune in the right place now. Aye, nice one. Aye.
Aye.
So these are the first tracks that you've actually had mixed and mastered for the band, eh?
Yeah. So it's like I record the band myself and then I mix it myself, then master it myself.
Yeah. And you do this at college, eh? You use the equipment at college.
Yeah.
Aye, to get nice, good quality stuff. I know the rest of the boys in the band are well chuffed, eh? Because you can make their stuff sound amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Aye, perfect. So on this part, we're pretty much we covered a little bit about it. As you were at college, you kind of got into your music more, and your mate that you met. And we'll give him a shout again, Mark, if you're watching. You're the man of the moment. Aye, so this part's kind of what got you into music, what sort of events in your life pushed you that way, and what it sort of means to you and stuff. So, what really made you like I want to have a career in music? You know.
Well, I reckon it's like I got like properly into like dance music and the rave scene, and that pushed me in a certain direction, and then like hip hop pushed me in a certain direction, and now what I'm doing now and music now is like pushed me in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
So like hip hop was like I want to make beats, I want to be a rapper, I want
A lot of computer generated production stuff.
I want to be a rapper, because I think like a lot of folk is like probably listen to hip hop or like just rap music and hear an instrument and going, I'll get a bash and try and like rap again. Then you go on doing that, and then
most hip hop heads listen to hip hop and then kind of want to emulate it.
Well,
and do it themselves.
they get learn from it. Do you know what I mean? But like, I went through that and stuff, but then like, I kind of like then dived into like the rave scene and like drum and bass, and I was like proper into drum and bass. And when like I first started like college and education and stuff, I was like, all I wanted to make was like big stinky beats with big stinky bass. Like that's all I cared about. Like Do you know what I mean? But and then like now I've like, kind of like changed on, but like I don't really even like drum and bass anymore.
You've got quite a wide taste in music, though. Eh?
I do, but like what I'm really passionate about in dance music is more of like my like 90s hardcore, like old school breakbeat hardcore is like what I'm very, very like proper passionate about, like that.
These days I've found because I've been getting, you know yourself, I've been getting more house music and stuff.
Yeah, I
music,
like.
And I've found myself I've totally fell in love with acid house. I'm just
yeah. The thing, I think the best thing about like the old school dance music for like late 80s to fucking 94 or something is like 95 is like the folk that were making that and the way it sounds is not just, you can't put it in a category. You can't go, oh, this is house, this is breakbeat, this is hardcore. It's like it's all of that combined into one.
Yeah,
and it's just bouncing.
They had a bit of rap.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. Like, proper breakbeat has always got rap thrown in there. They fucking It's like that's the thing. It's like the combination of all genres like thrown the best parts basically.
It's like what's that? Mr. Vane, remember that you, Mr. Vane? Call him Mr. Raider, call him Mr.
yeah.
And then it had the guy doing the rap bit as well. Can't even remember the words, but and that was typical in the early 90s and stuff.
Well, that one song is like what is it, La Luna? It's like to the beat of the drum, bang, because it's got break beats. It's got like it's like pumping house, but it's like that song.
Yeah. So that's where you sort of grew a love for music, going to raves and clubs and hearing a lot of that sort of music really got you really into music.
Well, that's like I was more into music like before, like band music came from like chilling with my pals and stuff like that. Like I got like right into like the Doors and
well, that's what I just said to you. We were just chatting while we were on a break there, and I was saying all these English acts that came out of England, and you actually knew. I was like, no, the Doors, no, and you were like, no, they're American. So they are, and it's amazing, that at your age you've got a lot of knowledge about.
Yeah, but that's just like because that's like the good stuff from the old days, and like that's what like I'd like dive very deep into that, because before I was quite like that's new, that's all that shite, and like, but then like I went like I took a path and I like dived right into that, and like Pink Floyd or the Doors, like Bowie, Iggy, like all of that, and then like I remember I was watching, when I was into drum and bass, I was like watching a live stream, and it was on Facebook, and it was like blocked. It was like blocked. It's like this Manchester live stream. They do like flat fucking things and shit. And it was amazing. It was this big fat dude, big.
Pirate radio things.
Not well, like if you would call it that, but it was like quite new anyway. But it was like this. It was his name AJ Andy Johnson, and he was this big fat dude, man, and he was like mixing the most like fucking the best shit, and he had an MC with him and that, and it was fucking class. I remember just sitting in my chair like fucking yeah. And then like I went and like, who is this AJ boy? And I went on, and then I clicked on that, and then I went through, and then I found like it was like Hardcore Heaven 91 Dreamwave or some shit, and I listened to that, and I remember I was on a train and I listened to that, and it was like I was like, this is proper dance music, like this is Euphoria, like this is proper like dance music, and that's how I proper like got into my hardcore, and then like through there I like
aye I think the first dance tune I really heard, I was about 12 years old, and it was Rhythm of the Night. Yeah.
I
think I was about 12 years old, and I wasn't even into it. I didn't even know what it was, and someone older showed me. I don't think it was my brother. Somebody older than me showed me and was like, check this stuff out. And I was only about 12 years old. Like, what do you think of this? Like, just as you're a kid. And I remember just like, what is that? And it was like,
it's like Scooter.
It's a Rhythm of the Night.
Yeah, but like Scooter took over. Like I remember when I was in primary school, I was like the kids doing the Scooter dance and stuff like that. But like now they don't do the Scooter dance. But like
Scooter was massive. Were they like German or something? They were European.
Dutch. Aye.
Oh, they were good though. I was never a massive fan of Scooter, but a lot of my pals were. When I was at school,
I was the same. I was a big fan. Like now I'm like a fan of Scooter, but like I'm not going to go listen to Scooter. But like
I remember
Aye.
looking at Scooter thinking they were a bit like some sort of house version of the Pet Shop Boys.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It was,
Like kind of, it's no, like the kind of people that made Easy Good.
yeah,
The Shaman.
The Shaman.
Yeah, the Shaman. Aye. They kind of like
They
that.
had some amazing tracks too, like the Shaman, eh?
But even like Easy Good, like that was like number 2 or something in like 1992.
Aye.
Like, and like nobody knew what the fuck was going on, and like on the radio it's Easy Good.
I know, eh?
Easy Good.
I
It's
know what, and
Ebenezer
they
Good.
actually managed to trick the stations because they thought it was
Ebenezer
Ebenezer Good.
Good.
Ebenezer Good. Here we have next on Radio 1, the Shaman with Ebenezer Good.
Easy Good. Easy Good.
And the guy doesn't have a clue because he's
yeah.
like too busy sorting his paperwork. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
you
so
know.
that was a great track.
No, yeah, but that's the beauty of like, well, because I've always like had a fascination about like the 90s and like speaking to like old ravers and like people like that, and the thing they always said was nobody knew what was going on. Like you'd leave your house like in like whenever, like you leave your house and gone out all weekend. You go, oh, I was just at my friend's house, and your mum be, oh yeah, sound. Like they didn't know what a rave was, but like now it's been like the corporations have like
Yeah.
produced what a rave is, so it's like lost a little bit of what it was, I guess.
Aye. I never actually went to any actual raves in my youth. Like, I think as I say, I was deep into hip hop at a young age, so it was more all about just chilling and listening to hip hop and that. But I always kind of fancied going to a rave, but I went to plenty like concerts and stuff like that were close to raves, eh? Like,
Yeah, well, that's like just as much as what you could say it was.
But those original raves that were like illegal raves and that. I wish
Aye.
I'd experienced all that.
Like I've been in a few a few. I've been quite a lot like of like illegal raves in Edinburgh, and the funny thing is like I've spoken to people and it's like the same places where they have illegal raves now. Like they had them back in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like Blackford. Oh, I used to go to Blackford, like
Blackford Quarry.
Yeah, Blackford Quarry. And like
I
I was,
know the names of the
yeah,
places.
And it's like, well, I used to go on there, but like
People used to go to Resurrection. That wasn't an illegal thing, though.
no,
was
that
it?
was a bit. I went to like that one couple year ago before lockdown and stuff. They like redone it again, like one night only. It was called.
Cool.
That was absolutely class.
Yeah, cool. What else can we move into with that? So, well, with the band that you're in, that you've kind of explained how you sort of moved towards music and what started making you love music, and it's ended up with you in college doing your course now that could potentially end up with a career just in music.
Yeah.
And what do you hope to go into as a job with that?
Like I love live sound.
Ah, right, yeah.
Like Ken, like. Because Ken likes studio. Well, I love studio work as well. Like, there's another part which is like film and like Foley and stuff. Like, I can do it, but I'm not that into. But like Ken likes studio and like live sound. Live sound is like great. It's because it's like you have to work fast, and then once that band come on and they play, it's like you're instantly like rewarded for like your work because you see them and you see the energy and you speak to them and you meet them and then it's boom and it's done and then like there's like an energy level that like. It's like it's down here when you're setting up the mics and everything like that, and then the band, you meet the band and it guns up, and then it
once
goes,
you're actually performing,
and then it peaks, and then they're performing, and you're helping them perform, and then it comes down, and then it's down, and then it's like, oh, that was great, and then like that, and it goes down, and then that's why I love live sound, and that's
what
why
you would really like to do.
Yeah, but there's a lot of opportunities as well, a lot more opportunities in live sound than there is in like studio. But
is that like working for a sound and light company?
Well, there's a few companies that, in Edinburgh that do it, and
Pegasus Sound and Light. And
heard of them. It's more like a lot of it's quite like self-employed, and like,
So you're self-employed, working for the people that are running the gig.
It's more, working for the people running the gig. Yeah. But like studios are a completely different like ball game because it's a lot more like sensitive.
Yeah.
And it's
And
you know yourself.
Have to set up if you're going to be self-employed. You have to have your own studio.
Well, you normally have to work for somebody or like work in your own studio.
You're going to have to get some contracts as well, so you've got steady production work going on and engineering work.
So you got to keep the bands coming in, but you always got to have like the out gear. You have to buy like you have to have like spend so much on microphones and stuff. But like studio's a completely different ball game to live because it's so much more like slow and like
more time consuming,
more delicate as well because you got to think like
mastered tracks.
a live show might be remembered forever, but you're not going to remember the actual. You're going to remember the feeling, not the.
Yeah.
But like
you'll have memories of when you produced. I remember working on that and producing that track with that band.
But it's going to be different though, because it's like you're going to listen to that over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you got to have a different like.
Yeah. I can imagine that. That doing the live stuff must be more exciting. Yeah. Also, you guys, it'll be a bit more exciting, but you also get as much fun as it is too. There'll be plenty of times that you'll get hassle from bands and artists.
I have seen before, like a guy's like, my click track, I need 2 dBs minus. You put the microphone the wrong way, and it's like, and you're like, fucking.
Aye.
So you're on for like half an hour, bud.
I mean, we've done gigs in the past, and we're literally just shouting at the sound guy all night. Mate, fix the mic. What are you doing? You know, like
I can't turn this off.
The manager's coming over and going, if you continue harassing the sound guy, you're all getting kicked out. Eh? Like, we're not harassing him. He can't turn the mic up. Like, he's like, the mic's loud. And it's because like you're behind the speakers.
Yeah.
When you're an unexperienced rapper, you're thinking, I can hardly hear that. Everybody else can hear it. It's because they've not got reverse monitors. I'm learning all that now.
Aye. You need the monitors.
Yeah, but quite often when you do these smaller gigs and that, they don't have the reverse monitors. They've just got the speakers going out. So the rappers think, I can't hardly hear myself.
You're speaking into a mic.
Aye. So the poor sound guys are the ones that get tight. Eh? Like, mate, turn the mic up. Like the guy's like, it's fucking at full. Cool, man. This is where I get stuck again. Well, I think about where we're moving on with what pushed you. So that was so back onto sort of the band stuff, eh? So that was sort of push you, and you were talking about your college work and what you hope to possibly do as a job after that at some point. But you're actually in a band just now with another 3 or 4 guys, is it?
It's Nathan, your brother Johnny, Doogie and Brian. So 4 so it's a 5-piece, aye.
Yeah, that's cool, eh? Aye, proper band, eh? Aye, and it's mad how that just came together, eh? Yous are all just pals, and we all work together.
Yeah, we all just work together, and then
we're not meant to mention the company we work for. Remember?
Well, how it all started was I'm not going to mention any names, but like basically I started the band, not like a band, but like a wee jamming thing. We were like with my pal Patrick and this other boy, and then
and the other boy.
Aye. And then basically we were like doing that, and then it was a strange thing because it's like one of us couldn't play. One of us was only good at playing one thing, but was shit at everything else. So then we had to we worked around that, and then it was like anyway. And then I spoke to Doogie, I think, and was like, "Here, Ken, I'm playing. This guy plays the drums. You want to come play jam with us?" And he was like, "Oh, you're fucking right." And then Brian was like, "Oh, well, I remember Brian playing the bass," and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're getting game." And then because like Brian's never played, he's been in cover bands. We never actually tried to make original music and that. Mm-hmm. And Doogie's always made original music, so it's like we kind of came together, started as that, and then Johnny came along later, and then. But anyway, we got a new drummer, and Nathan's came on, and like now we're fucking. Yeah. We're sorted and cracking but
a Nathan sound.
Well, now it's like we've got hundreds. We've got not hundreds. We've got about 6 or 7 songs, but we've properly recorded and mastered about 2, and we've got another one in the workshop as well, getting it booked in as well. So
nice. Aye, well, we're getting quite close to the end of this sort of section already. God. You're a good chatter, Daniel. Eh? You keep it going, like eh? So it's good stuff. It's a nightmare if you get a quiet guest, like eh? So I've not got that to worry about. Aye. So I mean, we've kind of spoke about your influences, what pushed you into that, how you formed the band, and that's really just at the beginning stages. Just got your first couple of tracks finished. I'm hoping you'll be doing some gigs and that. Eh?
I'm always planning to try. Well. It has a whole band. It's like, even now you'd know like, it's like, sorry, like on pay, like can listen to music, like buying music and listen to like live music makes more money than actual studio music, and I think I'd much rather be a live band, than like make.
I want to come to your gig. I'm looking forward to coming.
Exactly, because a lot of people like make like you think like they make like I want to get an album out and they never perform live.
Yeah.
And it's like live is the future. I think like you need to get live.
I'm old school that way, and I think if you're an artist making music, it's quite important to lock down your live show.
Well, the thing is, like, if you don't do a live show, you're never gonna kind of people think your stuff is shit.
Yeah.
Like, because kind of if you go on stage and you sing a song and folk going, that's like, okay, they're gonna fucking, then you'll know.
I've had people when
Back to
like
the
when
drawing
me and
board.
Matat used to do a lot of live shows. I had people telling us like you guys sound just like you do on your tunes. Like,
Yeah.
And that made us feel like that's
That's
amazing.
good. Yeah. 'Cause
like,
well, that's what I always aim for when I'm mixing. Is like, I'm trying to make us sound live, even though we never like performed live yet. Because like I'm trying to make this live sound like big, boomy, massive, like raw, like shit like that. So, aye.
Cool. Well, I think we're pretty much at the end of that part. I mean, other than talking about like what sort of music means to you and why you feel like, I mean, now that you're into music, do you see yourself? Do you see yourself now doing music for the rest of your life now?
Well, like the things I've learned, I'm always gonna keep her. Like I'm not. It's not like landscaping what I'm gonna forget. Well, even that, I still can't how to lay a slab. Like, do you know what I mean?
I've got a couple of dodgy ones.
But anyway, that's the thing though. It's like I can how to do it. I'm gonna keep that with us. But like something in like a career in music isn't gonna happen like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's something you work at constantly, and it's always there in the back burner. Like you got to keep going, and eventually, then it will.
You've got a quality balance because with your college work, you've got a potential of having a career in music, basically, and then you can work on your music on the side as a possibility, as you say.
Well,
try to get big in the
it's
side
also part of my college work as well because I can use the music
as
in
part of your college. Yeah.
Yeah, because like that's like fucking material to mix, master, live, and all that stuff. So.
And can't be everybody at college can't have their own band, eh? So that's
Nah,
pretty
they're
cool.
not like us. Like,
Yeah.
like.
So you're pimping since been pimping.
Aye, man.
Right, man. Well, I think we should just call it quits there on that part. I think we covered nothing else that you want to sort of say about sort of what music's meaning to you or anything like that. I mean,
well, music's music, So
yeah, you've fell in love with music, and it's like one of those things it's probably going to be part of you for the rest of your life.
it's not. Yeah, but when you say fell in love with, it's like
it's just part of you.
Part
it's
of
in
us.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Aye.
So
fell in love with it years ago, and now it's just part of you.
exactly.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, we'll finish up there just now, and we're going to go to another track from Daniel's band, Danny and the Drivers. I'm still getting that in my head. I've only just learnt the name of the band today, so so there's another track coming just now, and all the details will be on the screen, and we'll speak to you again in a bit.
Every time I see you, and I see you smile, the way you look at me, it kinda makes me wild. I wanna kiss you, from your lips down to your toes.
Right, guys, welcome back, and hope you enjoyed that last track there from Danny and the Drivers. I'm on a couple of beers now, and I'm still getting that name perfect. So this next part is sort of based on what you're working on just now, what you're sort of focused on. You'll obviously even trying to hook up to get this podcast done, you were like, I'm mixing on that day and I'm at college on that day.
Aye.
So you're busy all the time. So you're obviously working on a lot and focused on your college work probably. But yeah, you're only kind of at the start of your sort of career in music in a way. So like you're just getting qualified and your main band is sort of just kicking off now, So this part's sort of based on accomplishments and stuff, but you won't have accomplished all that much yet. You'll have more goals, would you say, than accomplishments just now?
Well, I suppose you could say that, but like I've also like still done other things in my life, Peter.
No, you mean you've actually done other things?
Yeah. No, like I have done things in that, like but like also like you could even say like mixing a song's an accomplishment,
Yeah,
to date a
man.
professional standard, like it's still an accomplishment to put out something that's good and stuff like that, and like to even get a band together, that's quite good.
Oh, totally,
Write
man.
songs and shit like that, like that's
You're a positive guy, Because
Aye.
they are all accomplishments, You've
Like,
accomplished forming a band together and
actually gelling.
and
That's
you've-
pretty
you've-
fucking hard,
And you've actually got fully finished tracks as well now. After all this just beginning off of an idea, you've now got fully, so that's an accomplishment as well, isn't
Exactly, aye.
Yeah.
So yeah.
it? Yeah. Any other sort of accomplishments then that you're sort of proud of in your music and
Well, I fucking a wee while ago I done this. Well, it was before lockdown. Basically, like lockdown fucked everything up, and not like I put on a club night and that, and I wanted like an old school rave, and I wanted to. Well, it was called like a dance field degree.
oh cool.
Because the thing was, it was like there's like in Edinburgh, there's like so many like universities, a university city, isn't it? Basically, and it's like so many, and like everybody's like. One time I was at this event, and it was like Woodland Dance Project, and like I was dancing, having a good time, and like it was overflowing with like really like posh uni students, like upper, like the richest of the rich, and all this bullshit. And then I remember I was dancing, having a good time, like raving and that, and then this girl came out of nowhere, and then not out of nowhere, she like stood and filmed me, like stuffed her camera right in my face when I was dancing, and I was like, after that I was like, fuck this, man, this is fucking shite, but like the fuck, and I pulled the finger at her basically. I was like, it's like fuck you, like, you know what I mean? Like, you think you fucking are, but fucking filming me when I'm having a good time dancing and that. And then anyway, then after that I was like, these cunts, like, they need to fucking do something else. They need to dance for the fucking degree, because they didn't know that they didn't do the degree. They do fuck all, mate. They need to dance for it, mate. So I made this club night, and I planned this full thing out, and it was basically dance your degree. And it was it was like we'd get these uni kids in, we'd put it everywhere all over uni, right? And we'd get them in and we'd get them doing and it'd be dance field and go, oh yeah, uni acid house 90s, yeah, fashion 90s. We'd get them in, right, and then they'd all be in for acid house, and then we'd slowly build it up. Like acid house to jungle, then finish on like hardcore gabba for like the proper hardcore. I mean, we'd like lock the door and that. So like, oh no, fuck shit, like they'd be fucked there. And that was the plan, and we actually and then I booked the mash house to go and touch my pals. I advertised it, stuck posters everywhere.
Ah, cool.
And then I actually done like 100 people turned up. I made like 60 quid. I done it with my friend Erin.
Yeah.
Like it was like an Error 404. No, I done it with her and that, and then I done the posters, and it actually worked really well.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I used to want to run gigs and promote gigs, but I only did it once.
Yeah. I want to do it again.
Well,
That's the
you're
thing.
totally reminding me when I put a Halloween gig on,
Oh,
and my mate, I've got to get it right, Chris McDougall, he ran Urban Scott. He had the connection to the Liquid Rooms or something.
Aye.
I can't remember even what club it was now. Wait a minute, was it Bongo? I think it was actually Bongo Club when that was still open. Can't totally remember. Chris McDougall had he ran Urban Scott, and he ran gigs. So he had to link up to the club. And I basically just ran everything, set it all up, and he already ran a club there. So,
Yeah.
So we plastered UV Beat's name all over it. And,
That's the thing, and basically.
And then I made all the flyers up, and I literally flyered, and I done all the promo, and pulled in the crowd.
Yeah, is that? But flying
created
shite.
I just created a hip hop Halloween night.
Yeah, aye.
And
It's
unlike
good,
yourself, 100 odd people or something, the place was full.
Yeah, it felt like you've actually accomplished something. You're like,
And I contacted. I already knew tons of people in the hip hop scene, in the local hip hop scene. So I contacted a few names, thought they'd be good on it, and they all were just like, "Yeah, I'm up for it." And nobody got paid. I didn't even get paid because it wasn't my club night. It was Chris's club night.
aye.
And I didn't want to make money. I was literally like, let's
Yeah, you
just do
did
this.
for the fucking
I want
eye.
to see how this goes, And I'd never done it before. And I planned to do it again, but I never did. But the whole point was I want to see how easy this is and see how it works. And,
I need to do it again, but I
really enjoyed it.
Aye, but I think it puts me off. Is just like now it's like you've got to do the Facebook shit, and
Yeah.
I'll get somebody else to do that, and I could do everything else.
Well, it's like you were saying about doing your sound on live gigs and that. You get to see it.
Yeah.
You
Like
get
building.
to see how it goes in front of you.
I was a stage dancer at mine, Ken. You need a stage dancer, man.
Oh, it was Studio 24.
That was apparently the
That's
best
where
club
it
ever.
was.
I never went there,
Because
but
I've
I've
just
heard.
remembered I literally stuck posters on the wall in the corridor myself, and I was saying how you get to watch it. And I remember standing in the corridor when the club was banging, everybody was coming in and out, and I was just like talking to folk on the door or something, and turned round and saw people standing reading the flyer on the wall and thinking, I knew putting those flyers on that wall was a good idea. And you know how you think, that's mad, everything's coming to life. I really enjoyed it, but I only did it once. That was it. Never ran another gig like myself, But good fun, So so we're still on accomplishments. Any other accomplishments? Like obviously your big gig.
Aye, let's try and think what's next. Not again. It's like getting to college, doing
Getting into your college, starting your band, mastering your first tracks.
aye.
That's all your sort of
It's just like
accomplishments.
learning and stuff like that, and
So we can maybe move more on to what are you actually focused on right now? What would you like to do with the band?
that's a good thing. Yeah. God, I can. I'd just like to play some gigs, maybe.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
Keep recording a few songs just because I like doing it. Like that's all it is.
You just want to release like a EP or an album?
Not even
or
that. Like I
something,
guess
or-
we're gonna. Well, I'm not even thought about it. I just like think like the next day to the next. I just think of it purely like creatively. Yeah.
Mm.
So I just think of it like that. Like
You just want to keep creating.
yeah, it's I feel like the best thing about bands like doing the band and that is like it's like you get to think like your mind's constantly working on something.
Mm.
It's like I'm always thinking about lyrics, writing songs, and trying to like craft something, and then I write them down and all that stuff like that. And it's just like good to be like keep that going. It keeps you switched on and stuff, and just like I really like doing that, and I love like the mixing and all that. And
Yous are quite laid. All of you are quite laid back about the actual like promoting of the band,
oh yeah, like we'll like date and stuff, but like and
Yous are all musicians basically, and you're all like just enjoying doing your bit. Like the drummer Nathan's enjoying drumming again.
Aye, exactly.
Johnny's
Likes playing the
enjoying
bass.
Everybody's just enjoying doing what they're doing, and it's become what it's become,
Aye, exactly. But I enjoy like recording and stuff, but purely because I enjoy. Well, I like recording and exactly, but I'm really looking for like an old sound, and I think like an old school sound. Like we've got that I'm trying to use like a nice raw sound, and it's like aye. I'm like but like getting quite influenced like Iggy Pop, and that is like latest album.
Yeah.
Well, no, like just A Lust for Life, like with the sound and like the And that came, it's like,
I liked your vocals, like, listening to it. Obviously, it's
Well-
been on for you guys now, but when we were just checking it earlier, I was like, that was quality, like
Aye.
punky sort of vibes, eh?
yeah, but I want to keep it like quite loose as well. But it's like the mixing of it's been fun, and like I've really enjoyed it as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Vocals came out really nice quality on it as well too. Yeah. Aye. Nice one, man. So I mean, I'm not sure where else to go with this. Have you got much other plans like for the future? What you're actually hoping things? I mean, you've said about hoping to do gigs with the band and stuff. Do you have any other plans? You're not the type of guy. I just know Daniel Lee. You don't have big plans. You just like work on something and you just go that way.
yeah, just keep fucking following the train track, man.
Yeah.
you can. I just want to do some gigs.
Yeah.
Because I think, well, if you do gigs, like, I've got a big fucking. I don't like. Exactly. I'm not painting a picture. I'm just fucking doing it, man.
So you'd like to? Have you got enough material to do some gigs now?
Aye, that's the thing we need to work on. Because I want to like. I feel like the kind of like the proper live shit you see, like you can James Brown.
Yeah.
Like I've been listening to a lot of James Brown.
I don't know him personally, but
I'm first name basis with James Brown. Nah, but
I think Daniel's bottle of wine's starting to take its effect.
Nah, but but like I've been listening to a lot of James Brown and like seeing his band on stage and stuff like that. Like they're so like it's like very relaxed, funky. Like do you know what I mean? Like that's what you're trying to aim for, I guess.
Yeah. So you're really just dying to do some gigs.
I guess so.
Aye. Well, if anybody likes the tunes you've been checking out tonight, then even hit me up. I'll hit up Daniel. I know him pretty well. Hence my brothers in the band, eh? So anybody wants to like say, they'll be come and do a gig with us, and yeah, give us a shout. Not sure how we're doing for time. To be quite honest, I've not even checked properly, so I'm going to have a check.
Nice.
Oh, we're absolutely sound, man. We've got lots of time. You know what's been a bad idea tonight? Drinking these beers, because I just lost track of time and how long we've been chatting for. Well, I'm not sure what else to go into, to be honest, man. I mean, this part was all based on your accomplishments. You've, as you say, your early accomplishments are things to be proud of, and there's still plenty to go.
Well, what are your accomplishments?
I'd imagine my accomplishments.
Aye.
Wow, Daniel's flipping it round on me, man. I don't know. It's pretty cool being on BBC Radio and stuff like that.
Aye, what? Like when you did that? Because you met Ed Sheeran, didn't you?
I've been on BBC Radio like
You've met
twice.
You've met Ed Sheeran.
Met him at a rap battle event in London.
Well, tell us about that rap battle event. Tell us about Ed Sheeran.
Daniel's flipping it on me. I met Ed Sheeran at a rap battle, Don't Flop event in Clapham.
What was he like though? I thought like Ken. Did he have like a guitar on his back?
Yeah,
like...
he literally had a guitar on his back or something. I think you're right. I think he had a guitar on his back. To be honest, I've had a few beers tonight, and I had a few beers that night too. But I think he actually did have his guitar on.
Aye.
And I was lucky enough to be standing in a circle of rappers that were like London sort of not massive legends, but names I knew.
All of
a sudden I'm like, wow, I'm standing with these folk.
And like, who is this ginger?
Well, Ed Sheeran's standing there.
But was he famous then, or was that like?
No, he wasn't famous. So
nobody knew who Ed Sheeran was.
No, he was just he was just one of the boys standing in this wee circle outside.
That's pretty mental.
We've all got like a beer and that. We're just chatting, and as I joined the circle because I knew a couple of boys, then folk were like, "Oh, this is blah blah, this is blah blah," and I can't remember. It was maybe just like, "Oh, how you doing? I'm Ed." It was just like, "All right."
And you're like, "All right," and then that's pretty.
It was only a matter of like months. Like less than a year,
because when
he was on
he
TV.
Exploded, man. Like when his first song came out, it was like boom, and then that was him after that. Like that.
Kirsty, my missus Kirsty, she technically met him. She didn't like shake his hand and meet him, but she was there too, so she remembers seeing Ed Sheeran before he was famous and that. And that's another one that Kirsty's even like, that is so crazy that we met him.
But you've met as well, the RZA. Nah.
RZA, yeah.
Yeah, how the fuck, man? If you met the fucking
I've
RZA,
chilled with
yeah,
the
that's
RZA,
right.
That was cool.
Aye.
Yeah, chill with the RZA and that, and the Black Knights and Beretta 9.
But you met him at a fucking gig or something, and he was just wanting a.
Yeah, I can't go too far into
That's right,
how
yeah.
it all worked out. People might get in trouble, I don't know. But we ended up just like speaking to the Black Knights, and then they were allowing certain amount of people backstage, and they just let a bunch of sound dudes. No, not going into big reasons how you managed to get in, but if you were cool enough, you were getting picked, and we got picked. And Tommy Slack as well. Me and Tommy Slack, he's a photographer.
Oh, right.
Aye, but we go back to when about 15 years old or something. I've known Tommy since, and then a couple other boys, and we ended up backstage with them, and then ended up like going out drinking with them.
Oh, you took him around the tuna.
Yeah, we chummed them back to their hotel for a wee bit and chilled in their hotel room waiting on them and that, and then we headed back out, and I can't even remember, but I remember we went there, and then we're there back to the hotel. We were chilling while they were sorting us out, then we all headed out again, but we were sorting them out, and I was pulling every taxi that night. Every taxi that we needed, it was like I was the taxi guy. It was like, right, where are we gonna go? We'll take a minute. Right, I'll get a taxi.
I thought you said. Sorry. I thought that you thought it was funny. It was like I can't combine my mind this story, but it was like you took RZA to like you were trying to get him to a club with VIP.
Yeah,
and then they didn't let him in.
Man, you're the interviewer now. I'm the fucking guest. I know we took him. This is bad publicity for you, but you know, like sometimes things come back and bite you in the ass because, like, to think about it now is unreal, But why not on George Street? Didn't allow the RZA and his team in because it was too full and it wasn't pre-booked.
But it was the RZA. Like.
When I was
You can't let him in.
I can't remember exactly what happened in the end, but I'd had a few drinks by that point, but I just remember like trying to explain to the doorman like this is RZA.
This is the RZA.
RZA, like
the man in the Wu-Tang, man.
He's very close friends with Quentin Tarantino. You know, and that,
well, yeah, he makes music for his films and everything.
I was telling the doorman that, saying like,
this is
mate, you need to let them in.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if they did get in.
That's just fucking doorman, though.
Yeah,
it's like they wouldn't care if it was Prince Harry. Yeah, like if you had 3 whiskies or something, you're not getting in.
I know. So yeah, I don't know if they did get in the end. I'm not sure.
No, I think they must.
Maybe, yeah. But I remember a big deal. Like wow.
But that's pretty shit, though, isn't it? You gotta let the RZA in your club.
Oh, totally.
It looks bad.
You gotta let the RZA, even if you don't have a clue who he is.
Aye.
Fair enough. If someone doesn't know who he is, they just think just a normal guy, not letting him in or something. But when I'm standing there trying to explain to the doorman, mate, this is what this guy does. This is where he's from. This is like how rich he is. I told the guy everything. Like this guy's a millionaire from America. He's a pioneer in hip hop. He's best friends with Quentin Tarantino. The guy wasn't listening to any of it.
Fuck off.
I didn't ken him.
I'm right.
I didn't ken him. I think that's what I was getting. Anyway, Matt, well, I'll let you have a little 5-minute takeover of the podcast there, eh? You were flipping it on interviewing the Riddler about his RZA experience.
There we go.
Well, I think we should just call it quits there, man. I mean, we're at a point where we're struggling to come up with much plans. I mean, you're really just wanting to get into some gigs. You want to keep making some music with the band.
Aye.
And you're how long have you got until you're finished fully qualified at uni at college?
Well, I reckon I could do another year and it's a degree, but I reckon apparently it's quite in depth first, so it's like you have to go like right into something. You can't be like too broad. So I'm still trying to work out what I want to do or what I want to do. But
so you might, if you finish up the part you're on now, though, when would you be finished around? How much longer have you got to finish the course you're on?
About July. No, in January. No, not January. Fucking June, sorry.
June. In June.
Yeah, finish in June. It's done.
And that's you finished.
Out on the
with your
street, man.
college.
Boom.
Aye.
And I could go back again, but
So you're not sure what you're going to do then, just now, if you're going to go back and continue.
well, I'll probably just try and work in live sound or something like that. Like
yeah.
that's what I fancy
So
doing.
your plan is July, finish up college, and then.
Yeah. I got like a few like shadowing things and stuff like that, and like working at
work experiences.
I'm getting to work like at festivals with the college.
Cool.
So kind of like you get to camp over and do sound there and shit. So it's like
you might get placements and
shit like that, and then
yeah.
we'll get work experience for there and just.
Cool. Nice one, man. Well, I think we should just call it quits, because I'm honestly just trying to create conversation now. If I come up with anything else, unless you've got anything else you want to put in, any plans? No.
Any more questions for the Riddler? Or? No.
Now, maybe
we'll put that to bed.
well, if I'm looking for someone to do the reverse one, you're definitely one for the choice.
Aye.
Right, man. Well, thanks a lot for coming on. It's been a good chat. Mate. We've steadily, I think, got more and more drunk. You're not drinking right now, but he's well through his bottle. That's gone. So that explains our slight miscoordination tonight. But is that even a word? Miscoordination? That'll do for me, man.
You should cut that bit out of there.
I'm not cutting nothing, man. Nothing's getting cut. Right, man. Thanks again.
Sound.
Thanks to everyone for watching, and we'll catch you soon.
See you later.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button so you don't miss out on any upcoming content.